I'll go over the Succesion tamer skill tree and explain certain skills. Flash and Flash Pull are your main debuff skills after CCing an enemy. Bolt Wave and Jolt Wave are quite useless for PvP. Void Lightning and Air Lightning are your main PvP catches using heilang. Absorb is your ebuff that I recommend putting on hotbar. The command that I recommend to use in PvP is Command Attack. Scratch is one of your protected CCs. Whiplash is in use and I recommend locking it. Throat Burn is one of your protected frontal guard damage skills. Trample and Lightning of Earth are both range CCs that are not protected but can be used. Surging Tide is a protected knockback that I recommend using a lot. Fearful Trembling is one of your best catches that is protected and a tier 3 add-on. Upwards Claw is your accuracy buff as well as your VCC. Roaring is one of your damage skills that is protected. All-around Spinner is a frontal guard skill that doesn't do damage. Moonlight Strike is your protected movement. Heilang's Aura is your ebuff that I recommend locking and putting on a hotbar. Soaring Kick is your grab. Flurry of Kicks, you're not using it. Stretch Kick, you're not using it. And Evasive Attack, you're not using it, and you want to lock all of them. Legendary Beast Power and Evasion is also your main movement. Here is the add-on that I chose to run personally with my playstyle. Whatever add-ons you choose to use, you need to make sure you have add-ons on Surging Tide, Roaring, Void Lightning, and Fearful Trembling, as those are your main PvP catches that you'll be using off cooldown. I'll go over my personal preference for Rabams in PvP. Renaissance has a lingering essay on it, making it the better choice. Most tamers run Jolt Stab, but I do not need the extra damage, so I run Legendary Beast Claw. There is a gap at the beginning, but it can be used situationally, and it can be chained with Lightning Burn by holding LMB. Shift Z into LMB can also be used for movement, though there's a gap at the beginning. As for our protections, we mostly have super armors and iframes. Our main iframe is Evasion. Second movement ability would be Legendary Beast Power. And our third main movement would be Moonlight. And we also have Scratch, which can be used by clicking RMB after iframe. We have Tree Climb, which can be chained with iframe to have a pretty long iframe chain. Now we'll go over our stationary super armors. Void Lightning, which I recommend cancelling before the second hit. And then we have Fearful Trembling. Then we have Renaissance, which has a very long linger on it. Okay, now we'll be going over our frontal guards. So we have a Surging Tide, which is a protected CC. Throat Burn, Roaring, and All-Around Spinner. When it comes to tamer frontal guards, All-Around Spinner you can move with your camera, and the rest of your frontal guards you can move with your mouse. Now we'll show a protected chain of movement skill that you can use while throwing out protected CCs. One more thing to note, you can add in Trample and Lightning of Earth while doing the protected chain of movement, as range CCs. They're unprotected, but they can be used situationally. As for our PvP catches, we have a few. First of all is Surging Tide, which can be followed by Lightning of Earth. And then we have Scratch. And for our last protected CC, we have Fearful. Now we'll go over heilang protected seeds, since there's 3 more. You need to make sure you have heilang summoned and on command attack. The first one will be Void Lightning, which is an instant stiff after heilang teleports on top of your enemy. Second heilang CC would be Roaring, after he teleports on top of the enemy. And our third protected CCs using heilang would be Surging Tide after he starts casting his range CC. There are many ways to follow up on heilang range CC, but my personal favorite is Flash. You can also follow up on heilang range CC by using Grab. And the last way that I personally follow up on heilang range CCs is by using Lightning of Earth. There aren't many tips and tricks when it comes to Succession Tamer PvP, except putting evasion on a keyboard or mouse button, by going to settings, interface, action hotkeys, and binding it to a mouse button or a keyboard bind. Most of Succession Tamer combos consist of grab into debuff with flash into RCC into damage. So you can do a variety of skills. You can do flash into upwards claw into threadburn into roaring. You can also do grab into flash into lightning of earth into upwards claw into threadburn into roaring. And my combo versus high evasion targets is something like this. And one more trick, if your combos keep getting fucked by the down smash of Throatburn, you can replace it by roaring and then put Throatburn as your last skill. As for catches with Fearful, I will do something like this. If you miss grab, you can get out of the animation by clicking Legendary Beast Power. I'll now go over my crystals. So here's the crystals I prefer to run in PvP, except for Glorious Oldcastes and Awakening Weapon. And as for artifact, this is what I run most of the time, Magic AP with Form Rage. There's obviously better sets, I'm just poor. And when I'm against an evasion target, I swap to this.